Hey everyone, in today's video, I want to show you 7 very practical and tactical ways to grow a YouTube channel from scratch. And I've used these to monetize multiple channels, and I've also used some of these tips to get one channel to almost 100 million views. So I think if you put some of these into practice, they're really going to help you out. And I'll share one bonus tip or a mistake I made in the beginning that really held one of my channels back, so hopefully you could avoid that. Tip number 1 is going to be right on YouTube. Some of these tips take place on YouTube and some off of YouTube. But YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world after Google, the company that owns YouTube. So when you create content, think about content that could get found in search. I do this all the time. I have channels that are designed just to be search-based channel because this is the easiest way you could grow a YouTube channel in the beginning. Now, after you move on from search, there are other things you should do to go after suggested videos and to create content just for your subscribers. But in the very beginning, what you want to do is make search-based content because you will have a much better chance of getting eyeballs and then subscribers to your channel. Now, just to do a little bit of a deeper dive on exactly how to do that, I use a plugin called TubeBuddy, which I'll link below in the description that you could just download. And TubeBuddy has this thing called Keyword Explorer. And let's say your keyword is about YouTube growth, what I'm making this video about. I would just go ahead and search for that. And not only will it give me better ideas over here for things that I can make videos about, it would also give me some idea of if I have any chance for ranking for that video. So YouTube growth, a 2-word keyword, is going to be very, very hard, even for my bigger channel over here. So I could look up something else like YouTube growth tips. Maybe I'll search for that here. Let's go ahead and click on that. And let's see if I get a little bit of a better result, much better result, right? So this is what I'm talking about for search-based keywords. You use the TubeBuddy Keyword Explorer. You're really gonna have a hard time doing this search manually, so this takes care of it for you. Now, even if this number is 100, it still doesn't mean you're gonna have an excellent chance of ranking. But it's gonna tell you that the search volume for this is excellent, but also the competition for it is not very high, right? So this is kind of a perfect thing, and it's a video title that I could use for my next videos. And I also get a bunch of other keywords here that I could piggyback off of and make more videos that are going to be searchable and rank in search. And this is just start of search engine optimization. Search engine optimization, or SEO, is what you do with Google and YouTube to make sure videos rank in search. Now, hundreds of my videos rank in search number 1 or on the first page of YouTube, and it continuously drives traffic to my channel by doing this technique. Now, there's more to it, and I have other videos covering what you need to do with your title and description and tags, but TubeBuddy does help me with a whole bunch of that, so I definitely recommend you get that and you use it as best as you can. Tip number 2 is all about timing, and that's using trending topics. Now, I use this all the time, and last year I was able to get the 13th trending video on the YouTube homepage by using this technique, just by being one of the first people to make a video about a trending topic. Now, YouTube has a trending tab, so you could actually go there and see what's trending, and you could use another service called Google Trends that shows you every day and every 7 days what's trending, and you could tailor your video topics around that. Now, I'm not saying if you are a coach for personal growth and something starts trending to just change everything and make a video about that. You still try to make it about the same topic you always make videos about, but then incorporate whatever is trending on Google Trends or YouTube trending page. So just to give you an example, here's a video I made that basically hit the trending page and it got 2.5 million views because I just happened to time this right on the week that Zoom became one of the most used platforms out there. Now, I make how-to videos specifically, so it made sense for my channel, and this may not make any sense for yours, but there are plenty of things that hit the trending tab that will make sense over time, so try to utilize it the best you can. Tip number 3 is probably the biggest mistake that I see channels make, and it's a mistake I used to make all the time as well, and I'm really trying to avoid it now. But it's to make too many videos about too many different topics and not being laser focused. The more focused you are, especially before you get to 1,000 subscribers, the better chance you have for ranking in search, for ranking in suggested, and for just getting more eyeballs and getting YouTube to help you and push that video to more people. Okay, so I recommend, no matter what your channel is about, look at it, analyze it, and see, am I covering 5 topics, 10 topics? Am I just randomly making videos? Well, if you are, really try to pick 1 or 2 things that you're really passionate about, that you can make videos about weekly, and focus on that. Later on, you could make more topics. Like for this new channel that I'm making this video for example, I'm just doing YouTube growth tips right now. That doesn't mean forever I'm gonna just make YouTube growth tips. I could utilize other topics that are more for content creators, like making videos or setting up a studio, that are relevant to it, but I'm still not doing that right now. I'm making it laser focused, YouTube growth tips, till I get to a certain milestone of 1,000 or 2,000 subscribers. Then I could incorporate other things that are very specific to my subscribers still, right? I made this mistake all the time in the beginning, and it held me back from growing channels quickly, and now I try to avoid it at all costs. This next tip is probably the main reason why most channels don't grow even when they do other things correctly, and that is the lack of consistency with their upload schedule. From what I've analyzed in 4 years of analyzing channels on YouTube, what I've seen work best is 3 good quality videos every single week. And I know if you have a job or if you're running a business, this is extremely difficult to make 3 good quality videos every single week. But the competition on YouTube is extremely high. So if you can't get to that kind of schedule, at least stick with once a week. There are plenty of channels that I review all the time that haven't posted a video in 2 months, right? Because the first few thousand subscribers are so hard to get. In fact, the first 100 subscribers are extremely hard to get. So people give up early. But this is an exponential growth kind of a curve. Right now I get 100 subscribers every few hours on my main channel, right? But the first month, I barely broke the 100 subscriber mark, and I was basically working on this full time. So keep that in mind and make sure you could stick to a schedule that you set for yourself and make it pretty consistent once a week or 3 times a week. Tip number 5, I only recommend for you to get to 100 or a few hundred subscribers, and then don't really waste your time too much on doing this. But the YouTube comment section could be your friend. Let me show you how to use it. People actually do this with my videos all the time. So basically what you do with the YouTube comment section, this is what I want you to do. I want you to subscribe to a channel that is exactly like your channel, right? The same type of topics that you cover. If it's meditation, it should be meditation type channels. If it's self-improvement, it should be self-improvement type channels. Subscribe to those channels and then click the notification bell too when you subscribe. The moment you get a notification that they posted, come over here and leave a comment. But I don't want your comment to in any way promote you, okay? I want it to be a very clear added value to whatever video you just watched. So how would that help your channel? Well, this goes back into some of the other videos I've made previously. If your channel name and your channel logo is very descriptive, if you commented early enough, the channel's big enough, and the comment's clever enough or useful enough that it moves up, people might just by being curious click on that and see what your channel's about. Now, the rest of it goes into your videos, your banners, and making sure your channel's set up correctly. But once it is, those people could turn into viewers and then subscribers. Now, this helped me early on, but because it doesn't give you a whole bunch of views, I don't recommend doing it later on, right? So when you're getting 1,000 views a day or more, there is no point of doing this. But this could get you dozens of views a day if you do this correctly, but never ask for people to subscribe on those comments. Never put a link to your channel on those comments. You'll just get banned from that channel or they'll hide your comments, okay? Add value or show something that's clever or funny, or maybe even recap the tips in that video that you just saw as that comment. Now, this next tip is using Facebook groups the right way. Almost every single time I've mentioned this in one of my videos, I notice someone is doing exactly what you shouldn't do. Okay, let me explain. If you go to Facebook and you look up a group for YouTube growth or YouTube tips, a lot of people, what they do is they actually comment their video in those groups. Now, everybody else in those groups are there for the same reasons as you. So a lot of times they may click your video and you may get a view, but if your video has nothing to do with YouTube growth, they click away. And what that ends up doing is it hurts the watch time of your video. And basically by just taking your time doing that, you just hurt your channel instead of helping your channel. Yes, the view count went up 1, but now YouTube just realized that this video is not for the audience that is showing it to, or you're showing it to, and now it's not gonna show it to more people. It's gonna hurt you over the long run and even the short run. Even if you get more views, you're not gonna get appropriate subscribers and you're not gonna get appropriate watch time. So how do you actually do it correctly? Well, go to the left side here and I want you to search for a group that is very laser focused on the type of content that you make, right? So I have a filmmaking channel, for example. So instead of posting my filmmaking video to a group regarding something else, regarding YouTube growth, for example, I find filmmaking channels, I find public groups, and then I go and I try to join those public groups. Okay, so I'll go to this group and I'll try to join this group. Now, since I'm a filmmaker, it's very appropriate for me to get included in this group. So you would want to have something on your profile that makes it very obvious that you're the right fit for this. And some of them will even ask you questions. And this is a bit time consuming because now, let's say they take you in, you can't still go and post your video the next day. You need to add some value and only try to find questions where your video is appropriate as an answer. So you're adding value in those groups. This works great for tutorial based. I've seen it work great for photographers, for chefs, for filmmakers, and even for meditation channels. This works really, really well. Okay, so this is something I recommend if you could find the right appropriate group. If you can't, don't even do this tip at all. I would ignore it because you don't want to hurt your channel and still waste a bunch of your time trying to get people outside of YouTube into YouTube. Now, my bonus tip's coming up right after this tip, but tip number 7 is using other social media platforms beyond the Facebook groups like TikTok or Instagram to get people to go to your YouTube page. But again, you have to do this very correctly. Let me show you how. If you don't have a following on other social media platforms, I only have a following for my filmmaking page, for example. I'm gonna use this to only promote my filmmaking videos. I will absolutely not promote the video I'm making right now on this page. It will make no sense, and again, it will give me the wrong kind of views. But for my filmmaking tutorials, here's one of my filmmaking tutorials. Basically, a lot of times what I do is I first share the whole video on here, right? So this one got almost 900 views or 905 views. And then people could then watch this right on Instagram. Now, this doesn't help my YouTube channel if I do that. But what I do to help my YouTube channel is this is what I do. I go up here and then I put whatever type of tutorials I make and I put a link to that video. Then what I do is I come over here, I press this, and then I upload a first like 20 seconds of a video. So I take a first 20 seconds, upload it here. And then when I upload that, I'll press the text option up here or the sticker option. And I would just say link in my bio or some kind of a sticker like this so people could go to it from here. Now Instagram's working on making it easier just to get a swipe up link. So I have it like this. So I could actually put the web link, which is that URL of that YouTube video right here. So when I promote it, people just swipe up. But this option requires 10,000 followers. But I think very soon they're gonna have a sticker that's just called link, which I don't have yet, and that will let you do that. So hopefully you could use it this way. And you share a good tip from your video or like the intro for your video or something that is not the whole video on your story. Once a while, share it on your feed or IGTV, for example, the whole video even, just to build a little bit of an audience there. If you don't have an Instagram or TikTok audience, I don't recommend you waste your time doing this right now if you're just trying to grow and monetize a YouTube channel. This is if you already have a following, you could do this. If you have plenty of time, that's fine. You could grow an Instagram page, a TikTok page, and a YouTube page at the same time. I just recommend you focus as much as you can on YouTube, but there are ways to utilize other social media platforms to get YouTube views. And the bonus tip I want to share with you and what held me back is how well are your thumbnails designed? Because if you do all of these things, if people see your thumbnails and they're not willing to click on that thumbnail because of something that is wrong with the design of the thumbnail, you will never grow on YouTube. So custom thumbnails, the ones you design, not the ones that come from the video, are something you should spend a whole bunch of time perfecting or hiring a designer to create for you. Okay, so I use Canva and I use Photoshop, and I'll put a link to both of those and exactly how I make my thumbnails with those in the description below this video. Once you use those correctly, you could take your thumbnails to the next level, and it makes a world of difference. Honestly, if I was to teach you only one thing about YouTube, is to perfect thumbnails. And once you perfect thumbnails, so much else just works itself out. It's huge, and most people, when I analyze their YouTube channel, are not doing this correctly. They're using the wrong font, the wrong colors, they're not showing their face. They're using text that is really hard to read. So many things that could be wrong with a thumbnail that you could easily perfect by just practicing and getting really good at it. I'm just about finishing up a full 10-hour master course on growth and monetization for YouTube, or if you want to use YouTube for your business too as a marketing tool. So I'll put that below. Sign up. The first 100 students get a big discount. I share with you everything I know about YouTube in 4 years of studying hundreds of channels and growing and monetizing multiple myself. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope to catch you next time.